less than a minute. I promise. We're ready for a drum roll. Okay, anytime.
Just call the meeting order. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Kozak.
Here.
Trustee Conley. Here. Trustee Sullivan.
Present.
Trustee Dunham.
Here.
Trustee Madej is absent. Trustee Daly.
Present.
President Larson.
Here. At this time, I'd ask Trustee Daly to lead us in the
We
Pledge
have
of
Cub
Allegiance.
Scout troop.
Cub Scouts.
And Boy Scout Troop
397.
397.
397.
We're here to post the colors and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please proceed, gentlemen.
Prac 397, color guard, attention. Will the audience please rise? All those in uniform, please salute. All not in uniform, hand over your heart. Color guard, forward march. Halt. Prepare to post the colors. Post the colors. Please follow me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all. 2. Color guard, return to the ranks. About face, forward march. Color guard, heart, dismiss. Audience, please be seated.
Would the scouts please come forward?
We need you guys.
We have a flag patch here for your sashes. There you go.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. Welcome. Hey, you're a girl.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm all out.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Mayor, may I make a comment?
Yes,
I may make a-
Trustee Conley.
We see ceremonies over a year's time, and this group was some of the younger folks that we've seen. And I must say, I think it's the most well-organized and well-executed flag ceremony we've seen this year. So you should be proud of yourselves.
Well spoken. They indicated they rehearsed 3 times. So, a motion is in order for the approval of the minutes of the January 21st Village Board meeting.
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. You have a list of bills for ratification and approval. Any corrections, deletions, additions? If not, a motion is in order.
Move to approve the expenditures as presented.
Second.
Move for approval of the expenditures as presented. With the clerk, please poll the board.
Trustee Kozak.
Aye.
Trustee Conley.
Aye.
Trustee Sullivan.
Aye.
Trustee Dunham.
Aye.
Trustee Madey absent. Trustee Daly.
Aye.
5 aye votes, no nays, motion carries. Presentations. A presentation of Fire Department Citizens Award for Matthew Greenlee by Fire Chief James Walters.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, trustees and the manager, for giving us a few moments to present a couple of our citizens who did the right thing. They saw an incident and stopped and assisted rather than just doing a drive-by. And I'd like to make these presentations to hopefully set an example for others to do the same thing, and just express our appreciation to these gentlemen for taking a situation and making it a little bit better. So if I could ask Matthew Greenlee to please come up. Matthew, in testimony of their contribution and service to this department in the village of Schaumburg, Matthew Greenlee has presented this award for the selfless assistance resulting in a positive outcome displayed at the below described incident. On January 2nd, 2019, Mr. Greenlee witnessed a car coming around the corner that hit a boulder on the side of the road and flipped onto its roof. This accident occurred within sight of Station 53, and Mr. Greenlee ran to the firehouse to report the accident. He then ran back to the accident and assisted the driver out of the car and applied a belt to the driver's arm as a tourniquet. The driver's hand had massive trauma and was bleeding severely. Mr. Greenlee, who was present as a bystander, provided timely and spontaneous assistance which supported the patient's survival. So, Matt, again, we appreciate you stopping and taking care of business and doing the right thing. Thank you. And if I could ask Robert Votava to limp up here. Thank you, and again, we appreciate you taking care of business out and making an outcome that could have been worse. In Matt's instance, on December 6, 2018, Ambulance 53 and Squad 55 responded to Roselle and Wise Road for a person in the middle of the intersection with an altered level of consciousness. Ambulance 53 arrived on the scene first to see two cars in the middle of the intersection. One car contained a patient, and the other the bystander that noticed the woman in the middle of the intersection not moving. Mr. Votava called 911 and waited to protect her until help arrived. As Ambulance 53 arrived, the patient's foot came off the brake and the car began to roll. Mr. Votava again sprang into action, ran to her car, jumped in, and prevented a collision. Mr. Votava, who was present as a bystander, provided timely and spontaneous assistance which supported the patient's survival and the better outcome of the incident. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Board.
Next presentation is the Landscape Awards. Is the chair of the Environmental Committee here?
Julie's going to handle the presentation.
Or is Julie Summers here?
Hi, my name is Julie Summers Fitzgerald, and I'm representing the Community Development Department, and we serve as staff liaison to the Environmental Committee. As you know, we present annual landscape awards. The way these come about is that we have three different categories of awards. We have most improved, we have best maintained, and we have best natural landscape. And then within some of those, we have some categories for commercial and residential properties. These have been around for a number of years. Nominations are provided by staff, both within the planning division and within the code enforcement division. The landscape planners and our landscape inspector provides the nominations. They're then reviewed by the environmental committee and recommended for approval by the Health and Human Services Committee. So the approval is also on your agenda tonight, and I have the honor of presenting the awards. So I know that some of the award recipients couldn't be here tonight, but some can. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say the category and a very short description of the property and why you are receiving the award. And I'm going to ask you to come up, give you your award, and then stay up here, and then at the end, take one picture, maybe up by the mayor of the entire group, so we can include it with some publications. So with that, Woodfield Preserves is the first award for this year. Woodfield Preserves is an office complex at the corner of Schaumburg Road and Martingale Road. It's a very attractive office complex, but they did do some significant upgrades this past year. They updated a seating area and landscaping on the west side of the buildings. The improvements included brick pavers, a seat wall, pergola areas, a water fountain, and also ornamental plantings. So congratulations, and if you want to come up, I will hand you your award.
Thank you.
And right around here, works. For most improved for the retail category, we have the at-home store. And I don't think At Home is here tonight, so.
He's at home.
There's the joke. So we'll go ahead and I'll just explain. This is the retail category. They replaced some foundation category in the front and the back of the building, which consisted of ornamental trees, shrubs, and perennials. And we will save their award for later. The most improved landscaping for a residential planned unit development is Maribel PUD. Is someone here from Maribel? So Maribel made, I think, the best and a real positive out of a bad situation. They had extensive tree replacements due to storm damage and the emerald ash borer. They turned that around. They removed 2 unused tennis courts and replaced them with open space and a dog park for the residents. They completed an entry sign, playground, and a park area. So congratulations, and thanks for your investment. So now we move on to best maintained landscaping, and in the commercial category, On the Border Restaurant is the first recipient. On the Border Restaurant includes a broad range of plant types, which I am told by my inspection staff requires detailed landscape knowledge by their staff and quite a bit of maintenance, and they look beautiful all the time. So thank you very much, and congratulations. For retail, the best maintained is Walgreens on South Roselle Road. Is there somebody here from Walgreens? No? Okay. We'll save that for later. Best maintained for the residential PUD is Versailles on the Lake. Someone here from Versailles? Versailles on the Lake is one of the older apartment complexes in the village. It's been well maintained for a number of years. Most recently, they took advantage of some tree removals that were made in a timely fashion, and rather than just removing, they added some annuals throughout the property, and it really made a great aesthetic difference. So congratulations, and thank you very much for your investment. And last is Best Natural Landscaping, and it's to Zurich American Insurance, which I know we're all familiar with, but I don't believe they were able to make it because of the storm tonight. So we will move on from that, and if the award recipients can come up and just stand up front together for one picture. Allison's going to take care of that.
I didn't get a plan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. You have attached to the regular agenda, a consent agenda. It will take one motion from the village board to approve all the items on the consent agenda. If someone has a concern or a question about the item, wait until it gets to where the clerk is announcing the name of the company and person, and you will be addressed by the clerk in future callings. And I now turn over to the clerk, Marilyn Carr.
Number 1, correspondence. A, the motion would be to ratify the request from Schaumburg Business Association to hold a raffle on February the 7th, 2019 at the Schaumburg Corporate Center Atrium, 1501 East Gulf Road, and to waive the fidelity bond requirement. B, the motion would be to approve the request from Pheasants Forever, Inc. to hold raffles on February 22nd to 24th, 2019 at the Renaissance Schaumburg Hotel and Convention Center, 1551 Thoreau Drive, and to grant a variance to Code Section 117.31 for single ticket prices over $5 and single prize over $1,000, and total dollar value of prizes being greater than $25,000. C, the motion would be to approve the request from Friends of Schaumburg to hold a raffle on February 22nd, 2019 at Chandler's Chop House, Schaumburg Golf Club, 401 North Roselle Road, and to waive the fidelity bond requirement. D, the motion would be to approve the request from St. Matthew Parish to hold raffles on the first Sunday of each month from July 1st, 2019 to June 30th, 2020 at St. Matthew Church, 1001 East Schaumburg Road, to grant a variance to Code Section 117.31 and to waive the fidelity bond requirement. 2, liquor licenses. The motion would be to approve the request from Schaumburg A.M. Rotary Foundation for 1 Class D liquor license for a reception on Friday, March 22nd, 2019, from 5 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at the L. Larson Perry Center for the Arts located at 201 Schaumburg Court. B, the motion would be to approve the request from Tony LaFarine of the Schaumburg Park District for 15 Class D one-day liquor licenses for German Beer Garden on Friday, May 24th, 2019, from 4:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at Spring Valley Nature Center, 1111 East Schaumburg Road. German Beer Garden on Sunday, June 8th, 2019, from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Spring Valley Nature Center, 1111 East Schaumburg Road, Spring Valley Country Fair on Saturday, June 22nd and 23rd, 2019, from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. at Spring Valley Nature Center, 1111 East Schaumburg Road. Yappy Hour on Friday, June 21st, 2019, from 5:30 to 7:30 at K9 Dog Park, 120 Remington Road. German Beer Garden on Saturday, July 20th, 2019, from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Spring Valley Nature Center at 111 East, and that should be Schaumburg Road. Volunteer picnic on Friday, August 2nd, 2019, from 5:30 to 9 p.m. at Spring Valley Nature Center, 1111 East. Again, that should be Schaumburg Road. Farm Fork Festival on Wednesday, August 14th, 2019, from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Spring Valley Nature Center, 1111 East Schaumburg Road. German Beer Garden on Wednesday, August 24th, 2019, from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Spring Valley Nature Center, 1111 East Schaumburg Road. German Beer Garden on Friday, September 6th, 2019, from 4:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at Spring Valley Nature Center, 1111 East Schaumburg Road. Concert at the Cabin on Saturday, September 7th, from 5 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at Spring Valley Nature Center, 1111 East Schaumburg Road. Trails and Ales on Saturday, September 21st, from 2019, from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Spring Valley Nature Center, 1111 East Schaumburg Road. Softball tournament on Saturday, September 14th, 2019, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. at Olympic Park, 1675 Old Schaumburg Road. Autumn Harvest Festival, Sunday, August 6, 2019, from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. at Spring Valley Nature Center, 1111 East Schaumburg Road. And holiday party on Friday, December 13th, 2019, from 5:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. at Spring Valley Nature Center, 1111 East Schaumburg Road. 3, Engineering and Public Works Committee. And the motion will be to approve the first-year renewal for the on-site safety consulting services contract with Alliance Risk Control Services, Lombard, Illinois, for 1 year from May 1st, 2019 through April 30th, 2020, in an amount not to exceed the approved FY 19-20 budget. The motion would be to approve the completion of the plans and specifications for bidding of the 2019 Street Improvement Program. C, the motion would be to award the bid for abandonment of well 21 to the lowest responsible bidder, Great Lakes Water Resources Group of Joliet, Illinois, and issue purchase order not to exceed $71,600. 4, Finance, Legal, Administrative, and General Government. The motion would be to accept the Finance Department monthly report for October 2018. B, the motion would be to accept the Finance Department monthly report for November 2018. C, the motion would be to award the purchase of equipment, software, and cloud licenses for digital in-car video and evidence management solution to Axon Enterprise Inc. of Scottsdale, Arizona, and issue a purchase order in the amount of $117,592. D, the motion would be to adopt an ordinance making the First Amendment to the 2018-19 annual budget. E, the motion would be to approve membership in the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning, and that membership dues in the amount of $2,804.15 be paid. 5, Human Services, Health and Human Services Committee. The motion would be to refer the 2018 Community Development Block Grant Action Plan Amendment to the Plan Commission for public hearing. B, the motion would be to award the following 2018 Landscape Award nominee, Woodfield Preserve, At Home, Marable PUD, On the Border, Walgreens, Versailles on the Lake PUD, and Zurich North American Insurance Company. 6, Transportation Committee. The motion would be to approve a resolution supporting Metra's call for a State of Illinois capital bill. B, the motion would be to recommend the village board authorize the village manager to execute an agreement for Phase 1 engineering services for the Gulf and Meacham Road bike paths to BLA Inc. of Itasca, Illinois, in the amount of $95,205 and approve the required resolution. C, the motion would be to adopt an ordinance amending Title VII, Chapter 75, Schedule 9, permitting parking, Penny Lane. D, the motion would be to authorize the village manager to execute an agreement for professional services for North Meacham Road corridor study to Hitchcock Design Group of Naperville, Illinois, in the amount not to exceed $73,325 and approve the required resolution. 7A, the motion would be to approve a front yard setback variation for the property located at 1601 West Winchester Lane. 8, Zoning Board of Appeals. The motion would be to approve a special use amendment for Type C restaurant and parking variation for Alibaba Kebab, 869 South Roselle Road, Kingsport Shopping Center. 9, Project Review Group. The motion would be to recommend the village board approve a site plan amendment for building facade modifications for Fresh International Market, 1285 East Higgins Road. 10, resolutions. The motion would be to adopt as Resolution R-19-007, supporting Metro's call for a State of Illinois capital bill. B, the motion would be to adopt as Resolution R-19-008, authorizing the village manager and village clerk to execute an agreement between the Village of Schaumburg and Bollinger Lac Associates, Inc. for the Gulf Road and Meacham Road bike paths, Phase 1 engineering services. C, the motion would be to adopt as Resolution Number R-19-009, authorizing the village manager to execute a professional services agreement between the Village of Schaumburg and Hitchcock Design Group and the North Meacham Road corridor study. 11, ordinances. The motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance number 19-009, amending Title 7, Title 11, and Title 15 relating to electronic vehicle infrastructure. B, the motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance 19-010, making the first amendment to the annual budget for the Village of Schaumburg for the fiscal year commencing May 1st, 2018, and ending April 30th, 2019. C, the motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance 19-011, granting a special use amendment for Type C restaurant and parking variation for Ali Baba Kebab, 869 South Roselle Road, Kingsport Plaza Shopping Center. D, the motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance 19-012, amending Title 7, Chapter 75, Schedule 9, permitting parking, Penny Lane. E, the motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance 19-013, granting a front yard setback variation 1601 Winchester Lane. E, the motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance number 19-014, granting a site plan amendment for building facade modifications for Fresh International Market, 1285 East Higgins Road. This concludes the consent agenda.
A motion is in order.
Move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Moved and second to approve the consent agenda as presented. Would the clerk please poll the board?
Trustee Kozak.
Aye.
Trustee Conley.
Aye.
Trustee Settle.
Aye.
Trustee Dunham.
Aye.
Trustee Madej absent. Trustee Daly.
Aye.
5 ayes, votes no nays, motion carries. Committee reports.
They're not, they're just leaving.
Comments from the audience? We have an open mic and eager listeners. Identify yourself for the record and hold forth. Or fifth. Council report.
Or sixth, I have no report.
President's report, I have no president's report. Manager's report.
I do have a report this evening, and I just have 3 items that I'd like to mention. First is to extend my commendations to all the village staff here in Schaumburg who had to work during some very difficult weather conditions the past couple of weeks. Not only Public Works in helping clear snow and ice from streets, but also police and fire for responding to calls during the cold weather, and even folks in community development helping folks with frozen pipes and other issues that they dealt with. It was certainly extreme weather and took extreme effort on our part to respond to the community, so my thanks to all of those folks. Second, we had about 40 students from Schaumburg High School here last week for the first part of our Youth and Government Day event that we do on an annual basis. A very good group of kids, a little bit larger than what we've seen in the past, but I think we did what we intended to do that day, which is educate them about what we do here at the Village of Schaumburg, expose them to some potential career choices that they may choose to pursue in the future, inspire them to get involved in local government, and then help us develop some programs. And for those of you that don't know, one of the components of this program is that we allocate $5,000 every year, and that are then voted on by their peers, and then we actually implement that program. So it's a great opportunity to involve the youth in our community, and I'd like to thank the staff for their efforts and the folks at Schaumburg High School for giving us the opportunity to do it.
I'd like to thank Trustee Dunham and Trustee Sullivan for monitoring that day.
And Madam Clerk was there as well.
Yes, absolutely.
So they did a little Q&A with the students, and I think they enjoyed that a great deal.
Very bright bunch of kids.
And then the final item, I just want to promote and remind everyone of the Building STEAM event that's coming up on February 21st at 5:30 p.m. over at the Prairie Center. This is a benefit for the Prairie Center Foundation, and really is a great collaboration of the youth in the community, some of our industrial businesses here in the area, and also the artistic community. So if you'd like to attend, tickets are available through the Prairie Center, and it really is a great event, and some very good artwork is developed as a result of the program. So I encourage everyone to participate in that. And that concludes my report for this evening.
Thank you, Brian. New business to come before the board. Any unfinished business? Trustee comments and mentions? Nobody took a trip?
Well, I did take a trip there.
Tell us about it, Marge.
I actually went on a short cruise that went to Havana, Cuba, and I inspected some public works issues in the city. Was a very, very interesting and revealing thing. I went on tours that were led, one by an older gentleman, and then the other, the second day, 3.5 hours with a young man who's 27 years old. And I was really surprised with how candid they were about their government and what the situation there is and so on. But it was very, very interesting, and their public works handled a lot differently than ours.
Differently, huh?
Yes, differently.
Not much ice and snow there, is it?
No, there wasn't ice and snow. But I was there Thursday after they had that tornado. And that's a very interesting thing too, and how it was interesting in that because of their centralized government, they're very well prepared to react to those kind of emergencies. So you saw places where people were standing in line and somebody on the bus said, "What's that?" And they were actually picking up food and other kinds of things like that. But they have a burgeoning middle class now, mostly based on tourism. And it was interesting to hear one of the guides talk about going with his friends with clothing, their own clothing, and food from their houses and things to those people in that one area of town, because it was very unusual to have a tornado at this time of year. And then I've read newspaper articles about that this is very new, that type of charity in Cuba. They've always depended, well, since Fidel, on the government. So it was just a very revealing and interesting experience.
Further trustee comments and mentions? A motion to adjourn is in order.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, folks.